Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Nexiphor Cast. Today, I have the absolute pleasure of having Arthur Wilson as our guest. Arthur, thank you very much for joining me today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Arthur is the managing director of Condor Equity. He helped raise over more than $40 million in equity and also secured more than $850 million in financing, which is pretty impressive. And he also brings more than 27 years of experience to today's conversation. Arthur, do you want to give us a quick introduction about yourself, your business, and how you got started in this journey?
Well, I'm the managing member of Condor Equity. We're a high density development firm who also are heavily into private equity. So we raise capital for our projects. We have a secured line of senior debt that we've built over a number of years. So we concentrate on high density development. What that means is anything that is surrounding downtown cores, whether it be neighborhoods that are in opportunity zones or anything that where there's high impact when it comes to the density of the land development. We also our deal matrix is basically all shovel ready dirt. That's what we purchase. So if it isn't shovel ready with plans and permits to go vertical within a 60-day period of time, and really don't touch it. So we've been very good over the years of finding opportunities like that solely in high impact areas. So we can get through the development process quicker than most. I started my
Nice.
career 27 years ago as a loan officer. A few years, about a year and a half after that, I started my own mortgage company. Grew that from a two-man suite to about 45 loan officers and six support staff members, including some underwriters. That kind of gave me my foot in the door when it came to understanding development because I was financing a lot of developers at the time. Um, Took that information and kind of decided to not only continue to finance real estate, but also to actually get into the development and the building side of things. So I did some deals with the Seattle Housing Authority early on in my career. I did a few projects within in their high density areas. They were taking their low income housing projects and redeveloping them into high density mixed use projects where um, there was some low income, some market rate, some rental, and we were awarded townhouse lots in each one of those projects. Um, and then I went from there to just developing some raw land, developed the property in Kirkland where the Google headquarters is sitting currently. And then me and my partners, really started to drill down into the high density aspect of real estate because the turnaround was quicker. Our barrier to entry was a lot easier, and we had multiple um, opportunities to sell those projects to either first time home buyers, individuals that were, you know, empty nesters and moving back into the city for lifestyle. And
Yeah,
then all of our product is picked up by institutional buyers as well.
yeah. Okay, nice. Great. One more thing, Arthur. I know, as I mentioned in the beginning, you touched like every stage from acquisition, entitlement, development, including disposition. What's a deal that best represents your approach, like end to end? And also it worked from your approach.
We currently have a deal. Um, it's a deal that's in a high density area here in Dallas, here in Texas, is in Arlington. It's about 5 minutes away from UT Arlington, which is the University of Texas's Arlington campus. That's prime example of a high density area, and we were
Yeah.
able to acquire that property with plans ready to go to permit. So
Nice.
from the beginning, my acquisition specialist, she knows our deal matrix. So she knows we only spend X amount of dollars on the land acquisition, and that the land acquisition has to come with pre approved plans and ready to go to the permit process. So we're able to do that. What that does is on the front end, it allows us to position ourselves for a quick turnaround when it comes to getting in and out of a development project, which makes our investors happy, right? Because
Right.
typically, development, if you're developing it from a raw land standpoint, having to go through the horizontal development process as well. So we just pick up projects or properties and projects that are past that stage and just ready for the construction phase. Um, so it allows us to get in and out of projects very quickly, and see ROI quicker than most development opportunities. But that project also was aligned with, we manage a doctor's pension in-house as well. My partner, Kerry, he's been managing that pension fund for about 22 years. But what that allows us to do is uh, we position ourselves to sell to those institutional buyers like that, right? But
Yeah.
we have to think of, so that's the end. So we always begin with the end in mind, like who are we going to sell this product to? Who's going to be our end buyer? And typically you can hit about three different aspects of the end product, the buying aspect of a real estate project by doing a high density deal, because you got the first time home buyers. They're just looking to create wealth, right? Through home ownership. Then you have um, the empty nesters that have raised their kids, sent them off to college. Now it's time to live more of a lifestyle or downsize. And then you have the institutional buyers that high density meets their matrix as well, as far as um, hold long-term hold and being able to rent those properties out in order to generate revenue from them while they're holding, which is part of their investment strategy. So with high density projects, we're able to capitalize on multiple um, avenues to actually exit the projects versus developing in areas that you have to go in and kind of develop that market.
Nice. Okay. What is like a sophisticated client, trader, or renter that you experience during those big money raises?
I mean, typically, there's a few things that you have to look at aligning when you're approaching anybody about investing capital in anything, right? One is you have to have a strong opportunity. Like the deal has to be solid from beginning to end. You know what I mean? You have to be able to articulate how how their money is going to be put to work, and then what the exit strategy is, and all of that needs to make sense. That's kind of the first
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Secondly, you want to be able to make sure that whoever you are presenting an opportunity to, that you're kind of in alignment with that individual. You know what I mean? And it doesn't have to be similar black background or demographics or anything, but you do want, some sort of mindset uh, of alignment mentally. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because ultimately you need that individuals to trust you in a manner that they feel comfortable. And in order for that to be like you to truly be aligned with that individual, you kind of have to be like-minded. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
if you're a true believer in whatever it is that you're raising capital for, that's where the alignment starts. You got to believe in kind of what you're doing and why you're approaching this individual in the first place. And then you have to, in my opinion, you have to approach the cap raise um, as it being more than just about the money, right? Your cap raise has to be based off of, transparency, as well as making sure that your intention is to have a successful outcome for that investor first before you realize any profit yourself. And then if you can articulate that, um, that is what gives an investor a level of comfort that will want to do business with you, not just one time, but multiple times, right?
Yeah.
Depending on what you're doing and how you're doing it, it it always starts with having a solid offer. Okay. And then once you have a solid offer, taking the time to build the alignment necessarily for the investor to feel comfortable with you first, and then secondly, your project. Right.
I love it.
And
Yep.
those are the things that people really don't talk about when they're talking about raising capital. They just think that, it's a numbers game. But,
Yeah.
what if you really want to increase your closing ratio, take the money aspect of it out. You know what I mean? And really try to build the relationship first. And as you build that relationship, the money's going to come.
Yep, yep. We shouldn't focus like always on the money. Oh, another thing, Arthur, being in the business as long as you have, can you share your perspective on some major industry crisis you experienced personally and how did you manage them? Because for all these years, I know you have been through it all, including the coronavirus and everything that was part of this, all of this year. What can you
Yeah.
tell us about that?
I've had extremely successful years, and I had some really, really bad ones. You know,
Yeah,
um, '08, '08 wiped me out, right? So, I had done very, very well for a number of years. And then that unexpected banking crisis happened. And I had projects on the market, couldn't sell them.
yeah,
The banks were failing, so they could no longer fund projects that I had under construction. Those were tough times, but it's in those tough times you really learn how to navigate
yep,
any
exactly.
type of transaction to make it work, right? So you kind of switch your mindset from, um, wealth building to survival, but at the same time, you're still, deploying those same tactics as you would from wealth building to survival, right?
Yeah,
They're just the circumstances are different. So that's kind of where your system comes in play, is when you have a system, your system will outlive any type of circumstance that you're going through.
yeah,
And the majority of the circumstances that you deal with when it comes to real estate or pretty much anything else is some form of adversity is in play. So if you can learn how to navigate adversity from a holistic standpoint, which starts with your mindset, um, you'll navigate any down market, and then, number two, you want to look at the fact that, every market is cyclical, right?
yeah,
So it doesn't matter if it's in one year, there's a buying season and there's a slow season. There's a part of the season in real estate where there's no activity. December through January, you might as well forget about it for the most part. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But, and you roll into spring and summer and those are your hot months. So preparation is very key to navigating. Right. And then you can take that concept of, the market being cyclical and just apply that over, a 10-year period of time. I mean, every eight
yeah,
years or so, the market kind of switches up and you got to be prepared for that.
yeah,
So what losing everything kind of taught me was how to be prepared. You know what I mean? I also was corrected a little bit on not having the proper systems in place. So I made some corrections, because I knew the market was going to come back around. So I was being prepared for it to come back around. I made the corrections that I needed to in order to be able to capitalize on the opportunities. Um, and then I made sure that uh, all of the individuals that I had done in the past, as far as investings or looking for deals or anybody relationship wise, as far as like how I did business, I made sure that those relationships were still aligned when it was time for us to ramp back up. Right.
right.
And
Yeah,
that's what gave me, the ability to give you this testimony right now, is because not only did I transcend the hard times, but I'm prepared more now. And the way everything happens now, it's kind of on autopilot because I have a system in place. Right. and my system is the system is based off of, facing and embracing the harder parts of the opportunity first, so that you can navigate it, and kind of be proactive when things are, not going according to
Yeah.
plan.
Which you build it with consistency and also with discipline. Yeah.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
No. I know, Arthur, you mentioned that you are writing a book, right? Can you tell us something more about that?
Yeah. Kind of, I've been writing it for about 10 years. Like I said, it really, um, in '08, the whole banking crisis thing really provoked growth,
Okay.
within when it came to, um, myself and how I saw not only business, but every aspect of life. So I decided to write a book. It's called Refined, and it's the 9 success principles of adversity. So adversity, is a universal truth, and it's applied to everything and all things on the planet, but specifically to mankind. And if you can understand it and get the meaning behind the struggle or the obstacle that you're facing, while you're going through the thought process, you can transcend it faster,
Yeah.
while you're going through it, right? Because adversity happens for 5 reasons. It's either growth, it's either for correction, preparation, alignment, or to give somebody a testimony so you can help them transcend their circumstances quicker,
Yeah.
than you did, when you were going through it. Uh, it's more than, just the book is more about, my willingness to help others versus,
Yeah.
and getting the information out there, because once you really understand how adversity works, you can truly use it to, as a success, catapult. It's a catapult to success. There's no strength without struggle. You know what I mean? You can't,
Absolutely.
you can't harvest without planting a seed, and you can't plant a seed and not expect it to grow before you can harvest. So it's all universal, and adversity is kind of the great equalizer for us all. It doesn't matter what background you have. You can be a CEO or a garbage man. It's going to hit you regardless, right? And that
Yep.
being the case, if you can understand how to navigate it, effectively, and the reason why things are happening to you at the time they're happening, will prepare you for what you need to become the next version of yourself. And that's kind of the reason and the purpose behind the book. And it's called
Great. So
Refined, the 9 success principles of adversity.
nice. Where can I personally and also our listeners can get access to this book?
It's the website is under development right now, but it's, refined9.com. You also can get information, from my Instagram, and that's Adversity Millionaire.
Okay.
Uh, and then, um, and then here within the next 60 days, you'll be able to pre-order the book. It'll come out the first of the year.
Great. I'm looking forward to that. Okay, so Arthur, what do you think of the increasing role of the technology in the market right now or the past 20 years?
About technology.
Yep, the role of the technology, how it's impacting your daily job now.
Uh, I'll put it this way. If you are in any type of business whatsoever, and you're not integrating AI into it, you're completely missing the entire boat, because there's
100%.
your competition is applying AI to everything they're doing.
Yep,
And it's moving so quickly that you're able to create wealth exponentially. So if you have any idea, whether it be real estate or anything else that you have sitting on the shelf, if you're not trying to take that idea off and then apply AI to it to kind of, trouble to flush that idea out to see if it's actually monetizable, you're
yeah,
missing the boat. And then as far as like, it used to take you years to build systems, right? Now you can build systems overnight because you have this artificial intelligence that will do all the major research for you. When I first got started in business, you really had to go out and search for examples of how to do certain things. Now
Yeah,
it's really at your fingertips. You know what I mean? Because AI has taken all of this knowledge that we've um, encompassed over the thousands of years that we've been on the planet, and now it's at your fingertips. So, um, technology can vet out a product or a service or an opportunity faster than any man can, right?
yeah,
So then you take that knowledge with your creativity, and then you can automatically take action 10 times faster than you did not
yeah,
even, not even 5 years ago, you
yeah. It
know?
can be unstoppable in that
Yeah,
sense.
absolutely. So if you're not engaging in, you know, some sort of AI training or learning, no matter what age you are, it's only going to get better and faster. I've seen it. I've seen, from when I started using systems like ChatGPT to now. I mean, it's overwhelming how fast it has matured,
Yeah,
uh, and it's only going to get easier and faster and better and more robust in the whole nine yards. So if you know how to navigate within it, and how to prompt and things of that nature, it'll make your whatever your endeavors are go much
yeah.
more smooth.
How hard did you find that like big transition from the normal way you were guys working to using AI and also dealing with this prompt thing and also trusting in the AI results because all these results can also impact your client satisfaction, and
hmm
big deals can be lost. So what do you think about that?
You know, I'll just keep using ChatGPT as an example.
Yeah,
It remembers what you say, what you do. There's there's actual um, back ends to AI systems that you can go in and kind of give it instruction so that it does spit out the correct and accurate information that you're looking for, and flush flush your ideas honestly. You know what I mean? It just takes the time necessary, just like anything else. You had to learn, 1 + 1 = 2, and then two
yeah,
plus two equals 4. You know what I mean? And 4 + 4 = 8. Well, it's just a progression, as we learn um, the underlying system of the AI technology. Um, you can implement things that will, flush it out and make things easy or make things more accurate based off
yeah,
of your knowledge. You know what I mean? Because regardless of it being, smart or, an artificial intelligence, it still only can take direction. So you have to be able to intelligently give it the right direction, right? So that's where your learning comes in, or at least my learning had to come in to place. How do I give the direction properly so this system can assist me properly in a way that's going to benefit myself and my business.
yeah, yeah. Okay, so also, Arthur, what do you think are like some major shifts that you are seeing currently in the industry? So people should know about those before investing or considering also working on this space.
Um, I guess one of the most important things is to especially when it comes to real estate, um, is one, understand opportunity, right?
Yeah,
And what I mean by that is, don't be so quick to jump on the bandwagon when, uh, you know, social is or society is saying, oh, you need to go this direction because of these certain things that are happening in the market. where if you're strategic enough and you understand that the market is cyclical, then you can go into the market understanding how to take advantage of an uncertain market. I think Marcus Aurelius said, when there's blood in the streets, there's money to be made.
Yeah,
Well, when opportunity presents itself, so a lot of the time it presents itself in uncertain times. So
yeah,
in my opinion, you shouldn't shy away from the market. You just need to have a deeper understanding of the market, right? And as you understand the market, uh, from a more than just a surface level, what people are talking about, then you can
yeah,
actually take care of, you're prepared at that point, so you can take advantage of opportunities that are going to blossom, 3, 4, 6 months down the road. But you're able to buy them at a price point or cheaper now because everybody is gun shy. So what does that do? That drives the price down, but you're understanding it from a deeper standpoint. So that opportunity is going to come to fruition at a later date. But if you buy it now, your ROI is going to be a lot higher based off
yeah,
of the fact of how you bought it, right? But the market might be saying, or society might be saying, oh, don't touch real estate, or don't touch this, or don't do that right now, or whatever the case may be. But what that's doing is it's driving the market to where it's a little bit more affordable for you.
yeah, yeah.
And
Makes
so
sense.
if you look at the opportunity, whether it's positive or negative, if you try to find the positive in it, you're going to find an opportunity. And once you find that opportunity, you have done your enough research where you can make a move based off of like real facts versus what everybody else is talking about.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, great. Can you tell us what's something that is working pretty well for you right now, and also mention something that's been frustrating in your daily work? I can say dealing with all this kind of teamwork, team guys, align the team, the client satisfaction, this kind of issues. What's something that's really frustrating, and on the other hand, that is something that it's going really well using AI or using any other thing.
Gotcha. Well, I will, as far as like, from a positive standpoint, we're our projects always stay kind of in the double digits above 33%, as far as returns are concerned. But
Yeah,
what I'm really enjoying right now is just the alignment with everybody that I have on my team, as well as the individuals that are investing with us, right? Because it's more than just the, hey, these projects are gonna give us a high ROI on our time, our money, and our effort, but it's enjoyable because everybody's on the same page. You know what I mean? Everybody understands and everybody is on board. So it makes the navigating uh, a project extremely easy and fun. I'm not saying it's not difficult, and I'm not saying that there's not challenges, because anything you do, there's going to be those things. But if you're
yeah,
navigating those challenges with the right people and everybody has the same end in mind, it makes the work so much sweeter, right?
yeah, I agree.
And then sometimes though, you get people that do say the right things but don't have the right intentions. So that's the other side of it, is like vetting those people prior to, letting them into your circle in order to, you know, continue the good business, because everybody's motives aren't the same. So that's why I always look for alignment. You know what I mean?
Right,
I always look for um the right people to do business with, and then the right opportunities, right?
right,
Because you
right.
can look at a project and it might look amazing um, because of the area, but if you aren't buying the property right, or it's going to take you too long to get through the construction phase, or you don't necessarily know what you're going to do with it after it's completed, then that's where your problems come into place, right? So,
Yeah,
you know, you know, managing, expectations and people's um, ideas of how things are going to turn out. That's not necessarily the easiest thing to do, right?
Yeah.
But if you have a clear and precise system and method, and then you don't really divert from that, and then your people get on board with that, you know what I mean? There's an underlying understanding across the board.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally agree. Can you tell us what were some business goals for 2025 and how did you hit them? And also, what did you guys plan for this year, so 2026?
We have a lot of construction going on right now,
Yeah.
which met our goal. Um, some of those things, to getting under construction, there was some delays and things of that nature, but we got them under construction, and um, 2/3 of what we have getting ready to hit the market is already allocated to some of our institutional buyers on the back end.
Yeah.
So that being the case, we've really had a great year. You know what I mean? Even though there's setbacks and things of that nature that happen, we've been able to navigate those because everybody's on the same page and everybody's understanding, and that takes uh, knowledge and having people have a true understanding. And that's one of the ways that I've been able to use AI the most is like prompted to say, hey, I'm talking to this person with this background. How should I approach him with this opportunity? Or how should I approach him with solving this problem? You know what I mean? And let him know that there's a problem to be solved. And believe
Yeah.
it or not, some of the answers that come out of the AI are spot on based off of the work that the research that it's able to go out and do in microseconds. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it may
Yeah.
not be the necessary answer that you need, but it sparks the idea or it gives you the fuel to be able to apply the necessary approach, and then you tailor that approach so that you can get your point across, or you can get the situation rectified quicker than if you had to like figure out how to even talk to this individual. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It sets you
So
like on the right track. Yeah.
yeah, it really does. It gives you the rails. You're the
Yeah. Yeah.
train, but it gives you the rails to go down and get to your
Exactly.
destination as smooth as possible. So
Exactly. Are you using any other tool besides ChatGPT, something that's helping you to do your work more efficiently?
yeah, we have a back end investors portal that allows us to interact with our investors pretty smoothly based off of the way we've built it out on the back end. Um, so our plugin really understands how we do business. So a
Yeah.
lot of times it can be some of our the chat bot that's part of what we do can answer those quick questions easier and quicker with more precise details than I even can. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Based off of
Yeah.
what it knows about how we do business and what's important to us.
See.
Um, and then there's obviously, we write offering memorandums and we use AI tools to kind of flush out the content that necessarily needs to go through that. A lot of the acquisition or sourcing opportunities. Um, there's tools that we use that have some AI on the back end to help us locate and run comps and understand the demographic of that particular area that we're
Yeah.
particularly or possibly looking to acquire the property in. That would take days, for someone to go do a market analysis for me. That information I can have in real time. So I'm still a baby at using AI, to be honest with you, but I use it on a daily basis at this point.
Yeah, from my perspective, I can see that you know a lot because just knowing the results that I can do, it's like knowing more than a half of that. You don't have to
Yeah.
know maybe fully to use it, but if you know it, hey, this can be done by AI, it's like more than the job, because you can always hire someone to do the actual job, the APIs, the backend and stuff. but as long as you know it can be done, you are saved. Arthur, I think we talked before about the challenges. So if you would have like a magic wand, we could solve 1 to 3 business challenges or frustrating things in your daily work, what would it be?
Uh, obviously time is, you know, the most important thing that we have, uh, period. So us being able, one of the things that I wish I could do is duplicate myself. So obviously that I can't do that. But if there was a tool that would allow, certain tasks to be done very quickly without there being a whole lot of input, um, or back and forth. That
Yeah,
would be probably number one. Number two would be, you know, communication um, from a truly aligned perspective, like having a tool that could give me enough information about someone, especially when it comes to raising capital,
yeah.
being able to give me enough information ahead of time to really understand what their needs and wants are before I engage with them. You know what I mean? To make sure
Yeah,
that we're a fit and how to approach that individual. And then two, just managing the uncertainty of the market. If there was a tool that I could, um, kind of have some insight on how things were moving, uh, within a particular quarter of the market, and not have to go out and get that information from a bunch of different sources,
yeah.
that would help me out a lot.
Okay, great. So
Mhm.
Arthur, I think that's a wrap up from my side. It was great and super fun, also insightful conversation. I wanted to ask if there is something that you might feel that we have not dived into or not.
Uh, no, I mean, I think we had a great talk.
Yeah,
I wish you well with everything that you're doing. If there's anything I can do to help you further your business, I'm here for it.
absolutely. One more thing, Arthur, where can people reach out if they are wanting to be connected with you?
You can reach me directly at condorequity.com. You can also Instagram me at adversity millionaire, or Condor Equity. Both of those are Instagram accounts that I can be reached. Um, and then, I mean, all of that has all my contact info. So
Okay.
whether it's phone or email or, um, text or whatnot, you can reach me on either one of those platforms.
Absolutely then. So once again, thank you very much for taking your time to share this very inspirational and insightful journey. And for
Mhm.
everyone that is watching this, keep growing, keep thriving, and I will see you on the next episode.